Good afternoon, everybody. Joe Martin in the middle here. Hope you're going well. It's a very relaxing afternoon at the Strand part of London. Yes, I'm actually not far from Astoria House, which is right over there. It's been coming up 8 years since I was last in Australia, like this November. Which reminds me, I just heard this great news while I was scrolling through news.com.au today. Australian passport holders can now visit China visa-free for 15 days. But it does come with some restrictions, as you're only allowed for 15 days. So here's what I could do in a trip. Let's just say I'm in Pakistan. Before the winter sets in, I love to cross the border from Pakistan to China. So I'm in China after leaving Pakistan. So that means I got 15 days to look around China before I got to leave, either via Mongolia, the Koreas, Japan, or Laos, or Vietnam, or whatever, or even just Hong Kong, Macau, or do I dare say Taiwan. So Australia has joined this visa waiver program with so many other different European countries. Unfortunately, not the UK. Irish passport holders, French passport holders, German, Spanish can go to China now for 15 days. Now, I've been to China myself. I was there in 2011 for a 13-hour layover in Beijing, where I left the airport, went to the hotel, went to Tiananmen Square, and took a taxi back to the airport. I applied for a transit visa because I thought I would need a transit visa to leave the airport, but the nice government officials gave me a stay permit, which they can do if you're just if you're transiting in China for like a few days and you're on to like another destination like Taiwan or Japan or Korea or somewhere else in Asia. The Chinese visa I got in Australia, they basically just require like flight tickets, so that's okay if you're flying in, but if you're an overlander, it makes it a bit more complex. It's like you'd have to, let's just say, secure some flight tickets temporarily, apply for your visa, get your visa, and then you'd be able to, well, cross the land border between China and Pakistan, or China and Nepal, or China and Vietnam, or China and Laos. Not really too sure if it's safe to cross the Chinese-Myanmar border, but China does have boats that go to Taiwan and to Hong Kong and Macau, as well as Japan, maybe, and also Korea, and also China borders Russia. I was actually stopping on a train for a couple of hours on the Russian-China border when my phone got a signal. As my circumstances, I really want to go to Mongolia, Pakistan, both Koreas, Taiwan and Japan. Definitely would like to go back to China. It's been 8 years. Yeah, but I haven't traveled on an Australian passport in a long time. The only reason I use a British passport to travel is that some countries don't put in like lousy visa requirements. Like if you're a British citizen, okay, you can get a Senegal visa free, but if you just have an Australian passport, you have to buy a Senegalese visa beforehand, and it can get iffy on those border crossings. Many years ago, when I went to Papua New Guinea as a British citizen, I got a free visa on arrival at a time that the Papuans were saying to Australians, no, you have to apply for a visa in advance. The same goes in Brazil. As a British citizen, I could stay in Brazil for 9 days without a visa, but if I had no British passport, I would have had to go to the Brazilian consulate in Sydney and apply for a visa, which I helped a friend of mine do so he could go to Brazil with his girlfriend many years ago. So anyway, happy traveling. Enjoy your trips to China if you're off there and you're making use of the visa-free policy. China is a great country. I've been to it twice. I've been to Beijing and Shenzhen, and yes, I have been to Hong Kong and Macau. That is still considered China, but it has a different visa policy. Anyway, it's Martin the Metalhead, over and out.